Hi, Robyn Plim here from Conscious Being. Today we have a channeled message that came through on the 20th of October 2021 about energy, about choices, and about the state of the world at the moment. It's in two parts, so make sure you listen right to the end. I hope you enjoy. Thank you.
Good morning, this glorious day. This morning in your dreams, you were shown energy. And as you described it as dust motes on the air, so it is everywhere, surrounding us. If only we could see it. And what did you learn from this vision this morning? That energy simply is. It is not right, it is not wrong, good or bad. It is as the air, just there. There for you to tap into, there for you to use. There is no judgment. There is no expectation. There is no pressure. It is your right to choose to use this energy. But what shall you use this energy for? What contribution can you make using this energy, sending it out to make a difference in this world? Using the energy to support yourself is also a contribution. Become adept at using it, at recognizing it, at perceiving it. And in that recognition, make deliberate use in accessing this energy. For it is there for this purpose. It is there for all if they were but to perceive it. Now is the time. The earth is ready. But what choice will you make? For choice is the key here. Will you choose to step into that energy, step into that accessing of that power and making use of it? Or will you choose to pretend it does not exist? You know the answer to this. For each soul is sovereign, and what they choose is their choice. Do not judge others for their lack, for their not understanding, for their ignorance. These are all judgments. Just recognize that these souls have chosen this course for whatever reason, and make your own choices. If others ask, then by all means be a contribution to them raising their frequency, their energy. But it is not to shove in people's faces and tell them what they should be doing, for this takes their choice. As you have seen With the current state of the world, people have surrendered their choices too willingly, have taken what they have been told as correct, have been manipulated through misinformation to make choices that they may not have made otherwise. But ignorance is not bliss. Ignorance is just a lack of awareness. So what will you choose, you who are aware? Make the choices that best suit you. Do not look for others' judgments or approvals. Go with your inner knowing. Go with that instinct, that sensitivity, that awareness. Tap into what you know to be true and hold to your truth. And let others choose as they would. There is much more we wish to say on this, but this is for another time. Love, light, and peace.
The second channeling was done later that day after a healing session in between.
Welcome back, little one. Today, during your healing, you tapped into that energy. Prior, you had acknowledged the energy that comes from the earth, that from the universe, and you had called on these two for your healings. Today, your awareness recognized that energy is all around you. It is a third source that you can tap into. And clever you recognizing that intention is what gives the energy its direction. Now, this is not something that many people perceive, because it is not seen, touched, tasted with any of the five senses. It is ignored. Even those on the path to awareness often acknowledge but ignore the energy that is around them, ready to be tapped into. You rely too heavily on the five senses. Yes, for the physical world, these senses have been in use. But your sixth sense, your sense of intuition, your awareness, your ability to function outside the physical constraints of this body, are all but ignored. So, what would it take to wake up this additional sense? Choice. Choice of awareness. Being aware. You open up your senses and choosing to be aware of this gives you the benefit of these skills. Practice, practice, practice this sense of awareness. Extending that extra sensory perception. Becoming aware of the energy around you. Consciously choosing to work with it. Acknowledge it. And tap into it. The more you use it, the more aware you become. Now, how do people regain their power of choice? Many do not want to choose. They let fear rule their minds, taking away that knowing, taking away that power. They have handed their power away. And what do those do who have taken that power? They use it against them. Manipulating, coercing, directing people how they choose. And until people reclaim their own personal power, they are, as it were, powerless. They do as they are told. They are little more than puppets dancing to the tune of the puppeteer. Until they wake up, until they start to question, until they say no more. They are at the mercy of others directing their lives. Fear is a powerful weapon. Those that fear look to others to solve their problems. They shut their own awareness down, becoming victims, becoming less aware, less awake. And why would choosing to become a victim be a choice at all if people were not holding that fear? For fear is the key. It keeps off balance. It keeps people vulnerable. It keeps people weak and isolated. They fear everything. Yet should this have been at any other time, they would not have so eagerly followed suit. But this is as it is. Some do not want to wake up. Others just want to go to sleep, feeling overwhelmed, feeling vulnerable, feeling that their right to choose is no longer theirs. But those who hold to their truth of their own knowing, they will have to ride out the wave of fear. For eventually the wave will break, as all waves do. It will not go on forever. And once the wave has broken, people will once again claim their power, their right to choose. This time will be a very energetically disrupted time. People will look to blame, point fingers, and bring their wrath down on someone. For it is always someone else's problem. Not that they chose this, that somebody else forced them to choose, or made them vulnerable, or made them fearful. And people do not like to be seen as vulnerable and weak. So they blame others for this situation that they find themselves in. Hold true and know that by holding your own counsel, your own mind, that all choices come from you. You will avoid this crashing of the wave. Distance yourself from this. No pointing fingers, no calling people out, no blaming of others, as this was an event that was required. A time for change is often preceded by a time of trouble. For in the recognition of the trouble, the situation, people recognize the need for change. And so, as it were, this virus is a catalyst. A catalyst that was required on a global level. For one area cannot come to wake while another sleeps. The whole world is transitioning, so the whole world needed the catalyst of change. Do not step into fear, doubt, revenge. There is no one to blame. They were merely playing their roles. But many will try to bring them down. And they accepted this when they accepted the role that they had to play. So hold to your energy. Start taking from all areas of yourself, not just as above and below. You are as a sponge. Take that energy in, becoming the conduit. Place the intention and then release the energy. So much can be achieved above and beyond what you are capable of now. Your skills will increase exponentially now that you are tapping into all sources. Intention is the key. The energy needs to be molded and directed, for it is just energy with no intention until given one. So practice expanding yourself, expanding your energy, expanding your perception. So much can be achieved. Love, light, and peace.